I just spent 5 hours watching some of my favorite Batman animated movies and comics, and today I'm creating my own original superhero inspired by Batman's strategy, discipline, and mindset. If you've been following my channel, you know I've been on a journey of rebuilding my old characters. Some people criticize them, a lot of people love them, but now I'm taking things to a whole new level. I'm giving these characters names, new backstories, new identities, and building an entire superhero universe from scratch. And you're going to be seeing everything in real time. So if this is the kind of content you want more of, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and let's grow this universe together. Alright, let's cook. Batman is one of the most iconic superheroes ever, and honestly, he's been carrying the DC universe on his back for years. For a character who is stoic, dark, emotionally closed off, and allergic to making jokes, why do people of all ages love him so much? Let's break that down, because understanding this is going to help us create a hero who feels just as powerful but completely original. After watching the movies, one thing stood out. Batman's strength isn't in superpowers. As we know, he doesn't have one. It's in the choices he makes. He's a tactician, always steps ahead of his opponents. He's a master of martial arts. He's smart, dangerously smart. He got the bread too. Hell, he owns the whole bakery, which means he owns some of the best firepowers in comic universe. His suit is also intimidating. I mean, criminals shook just in the sight of his silhouette. And above all, he's human. He bleeds, he breaks, but he always gets back up. Now, if I'm going to build a character that's going to stand out just like the Bat, I can't copy him, but I can pull inspiration from the traits that make him special. Alright, enough of the Batman glazing, let's get into my character. My character's name is Daniel Cavern, 26, American Irish, born into one of the most notorious bloodlines in Europe. Now listen, the Caverners aren't your regular rich family. They are legendary for stealing the rarest artifacts in human history. Some pieces go into secret auctions, some go into the black markets, and some they just steal for the pride of saying, I'm a Caverner. And Daniel wants to be the best thief his family ever produced. So he plans something nobody has ever attempted, to steal the mantle of Osiris, a mythical relic gathered by a hidden village somewhere deep in Egypt's deserts. He hires a small crew, mercenaries, explorers, smugglers, the type of people who don't ask questions as long as the money is right. They spend weeks searching, nearly dying in the dunes, but eventually they find the village. These villagers aren't ordinary people. They are the guardians of the mantle, and they fight. Daniel loses men, but he overpowers one of the protectors and forces him to lead the way. The villager warns him in his native tongue, if you enter, the beast will devour you. And Daniel replies perfectly fluent, just to do a little bit of aura farming. If you play around, you're gonna get killed, So they reach the temple. Inside, the mantle sits wrapped around the remains of the last person, foolish enough to wear it. The villager begs him not to touch it. Daniel lifts it anyways, throws it around his neck, smirks, already beginning to imagine his name carved into his family history. Then the mantle moves. It spreads over his skin like a living shadow. Daniel panics. His crew tries to escape, but the mantle extends like tendrils, drags them back and slaughters all of them. For 3 tiny seconds, Daniel gains control. He sees the bodies, the blood, what he's done. Then he loses himself again, the mantle fully taking over. He storms out of the temple and disappears into the desert, screaming as the artifact tries to consume him. For weeks, Daniel wanders alone, talking or rather arguing with the spirit inside the mantle, a judgmental ancient force that wants him punished. Finally, the chorus is spoken. No one shall ever see your face again until you make a sacrifice worthy of cleansing. And from that moment, Daniel becomes a faceless man, not a thief, not a Caverner, nothing he used to be. When he eventually finds civilization again, he realizes something. He can use the mantle's power, but only if he fights against the kind of criminals he once worked with. So now he hunts thieves, traffickers, artifact poachers, every type of person he used to benefit from. Not because he's a hero, not yet, but because every life he saves, every relic he protects, every sin he reverses might bring him a little bit closer to redemption and closer to showing his real face. Now you know his backstory, let's talk about his powers. The mantle can extend and reshape itself into long, whip-like tendrils. Daniel uses them to grab enemies, swing and climb, block attacks, disarm opponents, and form temporary weapons. But the more force he uses, the harder it becomes harder to control. The mantle responds to his emotional states. Anger makes it stronger, but wilder. His second power or ability is the soul sense. Daniel gained the ability to feel the moral weight of people around him. He can sense guilt, malicious intent, fear, dishonesty, and the presence of a criminal mind. It's not mind reading, it's spiritual intuition. It helps him hunt thieves, smugglers, relic traffickers, and anyone who harms others for profit. He also has this power or ability called the relic resonance. Because the mantle is an ancient artifact, it reacts to other powerful or sacred relics. This gives Daniel directional pull towards stolen artifacts, warnings when a relic is disturbed, flashes of visions tied to an ancient object. This ability naturally pushes him into missions involving crime, black market trading, and cursed items. The judgment form. This is Daniel's most dangerous ability. When he loses emotional control, fear, rage, grief, guilt, the mantle amplifies itself and pushes him into a brutal, overwhelming state. In judgment form, his strength increases, his speed spikes, his tendrils become more aggressive, his voice distorts, he loses precision, becoming almost feral. If he stays in this form for too long, he risks losing his identity to the curse. So guys, this is one of the first of many heroes and characters you meet in my universe. He's 26-year-old Daniel Cavern, an American-Irish thief born into one of the most legendary bloodlines of antique thieves in Europe. Now he wanders the world, trying to redeem himself, hunting criminals, thieves, and anyone who preys on the innocent. So who is this faceless force? Who walks the fine line between shadow and justice? He is